Hi there, Carlene here, founder and director of Gut Health Nutrition and author of Gut Truth. So I'm here today to talk about what you do to restore your gut after indulgence, especially Christmas indulgence, New Year indulgence, and what do we do to protect our gut, protect our bacteria, and restore it to its vital function. This is not necessarily a recipe, but a formula of things to do to get back on track. So one of the key signs that you've gone off track is actually to check your stool. And we're looking at the Bristol stool chart and we're expecting a number 4 every day. That means that you're on point. Anything deviated from that, whether it's too hard or too soft, indicates that there's some work to do to restore your gut bacteria. This is what I'm recommending that you do for the next 4 days in order to restore that balance back to a beautiful Bristol stool number 4. The first thing to do is to restore rehydration, and we need to hydrate enough each day till our pee is actually clear. And I like people to add a lemon and lemon juice to their water to help with bile flow and their liver function. And of course, restoration after indulgence requires a little bit of extra work on your liver, but also to ensure that you're hydrating enough, because dehydration is part of the picture of the signs that you're going off track. So plenty of lemon juice in water, and to that lemon water I like to add a little pinch of salt. So this is a particular salt that a client put me onto. It's called Baja salt, and it comes from the Sea of Cortez. It's a mineral content of 97 different types of mineral, not just sodium. So this is going to be a fantastic rehydration together with the lemon, which is going to help with alkalizing as well as improving liver function and liver clearance. And make sure that you're drinking enough to get to that point where your pee is actually clear. If you need further hydration because you have got a splitting headache, I would add a little bit of coconut water to that drink. This is the most restoring, rehydrating, liver flow, alkalizing drinks. Okay, nice big glasses of water. Not so much salt that it actually tastes salty, just the tiniest little pinch. It puts a beautiful flavor in there, but it brings all of those minerals which are so important for rehydration, getting those nutrients into the cell. The lemon is alkalizing, and the coconut water is beautifully hydrating as well. So this is the perfect reset drink. 4 of these a day at least. Keep going until your pee is clear. Next on the list is my green alkalizing smoothie. This is so powerfully alkalizing. It's going to restore the gut to optimal pH, which will then allow the good bacteria to flourish. So this needs to be had at least a litre a day for the next few days until you return to that perfect Bristol stool number 4. So it's a great big chunk of cucumber and a chunk of celery, some herbs including some mint, some parsley, and I've got some dill in the garden and I love the flavour of dill. I'm putting some green dill in there as well. A good chunk of ginger. This is really going to help if you've got some nausea. And then of course there's lemon juice in that, so I'm going to squeeze half a lemon into that as well. And you do want to put the little pinch of salt into this as well. So not only is that going to help with alkalizing, but improving the mineral content, and it also adjusts the flavor so you're not looking for the sweet. So what is not in this green smoothie is any fruit, because the fructose is going to put extra pressure on your liver. There's no kale and there's no spinach. So we're keeping this really, really low histamine. Just a little pinch of the salt, and then add enough liquid for it to be able to buzz up in the processor. I'm actually using coconut water in this one. Going to buzz that up and consume that twice a day. This is a powerful detox formula. You want to buzz it up so that there's no chunks. Of course, it's always a bit frothy on top. You probably won't tolerate chunks. So we want at least a litre of this per day. Okay, the next thing on the list after all of that hydration and alkalizing is to restore the fibres to help grow the good bacteria, but also to provide some soothing and potentially some healing to the gut lining. So my favourite fibres for this particular job is to use psyllium husk. Now, psyllium husks are hydrophilic. They will actually absorb their weight in water, 100 times their weight in water. So it does actually provide bulk to the stool. But psyllium is a powerful feeder of all the good bacteria. And because it's mainly soluble fibre, it will actually soothe the gut lining, but it is not fermentable. So it won't actually cause any further contribution to gut symptoms such as bloating and wind. So it's 2 tablespoons of psyllium. That's quite a lot. If you're not used to having psyllium, maybe start a little bit smaller, around 1 teaspoon. But we are trying to get to 2 tablespoons of psyllium per day. And the other very, very beneficial fibre to consume, especially on a reset, is some chia seeds. So I usually recommend 1 tablespoon of chia to 2 tablespoons of psyllium. Consuming this every single day until you restore your gut to that Bristol stool number 4. The way that I like to have my psyllium and chia is in a chia pudding. And so I usually make these up into jars. And so we're looking for 2 tablespoons of psyllium. So I'm going to make mine ahead for the next couple of days. 2 tablespoons of psyllium. That's going to really soak up the moisture. 1 tablespoon of chia. Now, if you're not amine sensitive, you can add some glutamine powder to this. This is very helpful for healing the gut lining. However, if you are sensitive to amines, histamine, etc., then leave out the glutamine. But the glutamine is a powerful restorer of the gut lining. Next, I will add in some collagen peptides just to make that deliciously yummy and also to provide some protein and a bit of sweetness. This is sweetened with stevia and it's vanilla flavour. I've just put 1 tablespoon of each. And then we just need to add enough liquid to actually get that into a pudding. So you could add a type of milk, either macadamia nut milk or coconut milk, but I'm trying to keep it really light for this restoration. So I'm going to use coconut water. Probably just under a cup of coconut water in both of those. That's going to solidify and turn into a lovely pudding. Just need to give that a stir, especially those psyllium seeds, psyllium husks. Needs to be stirred in, and that will go quite mucilaginous and gel-like. But with that protein powder in there, it will actually be quite palatable. So that's my psyllium and chia covered for the next couple of days. I can put a lid on that and keep that in the fridge. The next thing on the list to restore your gut bacteria and restore your gut function and coming back to ultimate health is to consume bone broth. I recommend 5 to 6 cups a day of a short cook bone broth. So this is where you're actually preparing it and simmering only for 3 to 4 hours. This is ideal for people with higher amines and histamine or mast cell sensitivity to actually produce it at home on a short cook. So so 5 to 6 cups a day. My bone broth recipe contains a base of carrot, leek and celery. I always put in some stronger herbs such as thyme and sage and rosemary. I put in shiitake mushrooms for the beta glucans. Dried ones are perfectly fine, but fresh are good too. I always put in a white fungus mushroom. This is high in collagen. Just plop that in the top. If I've got it, I put in some cordyceps flour. Powerfully healing. They kind of come out looking like noodles. And I'll put in some seaweed. My favorite is to use some wakame flakes. Very powerfully healing for the gut and the gut lining. It adds just a bit of a salty flavor. Wakame actually remind me a lot of spinach, and then I'll use dulse flakes as well. Different seaweeds have different properties. The dulse flakes are more salty and they completely disintegrate in the water. I've got a saved neck from one of the many roasts that I've done, so I'm going to be adding in that neck into the broth. I'll add a dash of apple cider vinegar to demineralize the bone. And I also have got some saved broth that I had in the freezer previously that I can add to this pot as well. Always helpful to save some from a time before. And I'm just going to put a clove of garlic into that as well. I'm going to brew that for about 2 hours on the simmer. These steps are the big guns when it comes to restoring gut bacteria. It provides the hydration necessary, it provides the alkalizing necessary, it helps restore liver function, kidney function, and re-inoculating the gut with those good fibers and therefore enhancing those good gut bacteria. Of course, if you've got an appendix, that's an added advantage because it provides a reservoir of good gut bacteria that it can flow back into the colon after the storm is over. So hit the reset button, do the good work, get back to a Bristol stool number 4, and you're ready to go for the year. If you like the information that I provided for you today, this and other recipes that are on my YouTube channel, please don't forget to subscribe. That really helps me with building more material. Let me know what you want to hear more about, what recipes you'd like to see, and I'll see you on the next one.